In this video, I wanted to talk about the mindset and the things you have to really think about when you go into business, whether that's coaching or something else. So there are mistakes that I've made that cost me well over $30,000, but yeah, this is what I've learned. So you have to think about the things that will make you money now. So I always have ideas like, oh, you can do this to scale this and be able to do this, and this is going to bring you so much client, but then it kind of takes a lot of time to implement and do. And that's why you have to think about like, okay, how can I at least put $1 in and take $2 out? If you put $1 in and you don't know when you're going to take $2 out, like if that's going to be like in 5 years. If you're a small business, you have to really focus on the now. So you need to think about, okay, how can I make this work now? And once you have some cash flow going, then you can start investing into other things like long term. But you're not Amazon that can invest 15 years in the future. You're a small business owner. So that's why you have to think about that. And at the same time, you have to really detach yourself from the outcome. So when I say you have to think about now how to make the money now, you also have to put in the work that will pay off. You have to keep that in mind. It will not pay off within a week. It might pay off in 2 or 3 months, and that's how it usually works. Like when you invest and people interact with you, with your business, they're unlikely to make the decision right there and then on the spot, especially if you're selling something for $2,000, $3,000, or $4,000. And that kind of really applies to, let's say, online fitness coaches. When you sell a program for $3,000, you can't really expect for people to buy from you right away. You need to provide value first. They need to trust you. They need to know that you can solve their problem. And that's what kind of takes me to the next point. You have to focus on one thing. So what I've done, like the mistake that I've made was, so the first mistake was investing too far into the future. And that kind of hits the cash flow, and then you have to think of how to get the money now. So if you think about the money now, then you won't have to deal with that stress in the future. And then at the same time, you have to focus on one thing. So once you're doing something, you have to you cannot say oh, there's this sexy new idea, and then there's this new idea that I can do. No, even if it is annoying, you have to okay, I'm going to do this, and that's what I need to do. And if and once I have free time, I can work on that. But right now, I have to work on this thing that will take me to the next level. Because what I've done also is start too many things at once. So I remember I started 3 businesses at once, and that was it sounds like a joke right now, but at this I had to go through that. Because if you do everything, you don't give your full self, if you don't give 100% to a business, you are unlikely to succeed. So if you do 30% for each business, well, that's not going to work. And you have so much headache from all the things, from different thoughts for that business and this and this and that. You have to focus on one thing. And once you focus on one thing, you get better at that one thing. And once you get better at that one thing, you're much more likely to get clients. And once you're better at that one thing, you are much more likely to be able to charge your clients much higher prices. So this is kind of what you have to think about, is don't invest too far into the future. Try to make the money now, and once you have cash flow, only invest in the future then detach yourself from the outcome. So if you don't detach yourself from the outcome, it's going to be extremely stressful. And focus on one thing. So these are kind of the 3 things that I would really, really recommend. And well, of course, the 4th one, if you can, hire a coach or a mentor who will help you get to where you want to go. Because one of the mistakes I make, that's a bonus. Trying to figure everything out on my own, and that kind of cost me well over $30,000, $35,000. You have to find people who are where you want to go and get them to help you in some sort of exchange. So whether monetary exchange or exchange of value. And this way you will be able to scale much faster, and you are much, much more likely to be successful at what you do.